Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther and today I will be showing us how to draft a Victorian corset, and I'll be marking this line here. This line will serve as my shoulder line and also my starting point. So on this line I will go in with half of my shoulder measurement. As my shoulder is 17 divided by 3 is 8.5. I'll go in with 8.5. Then I went down on that point with 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then leaving my tape there, I mark my bust point, my under bust, my waistline, and the full length of my blouse. The full length of my blouse is 24 inches. The back and front is not the same. The difference between my back and front is 2 inches difference. That is to say, my front will be 24 while the back is 22 inches. You can measure your own from your shoulder line down to your waistline. Measure the front and the back. You will notice that there is a difference. My own difference is 2 inches. Yours can be 1.5 inches. So you go ahead and measure it, and whatever you get, you can use it. So my front will be 24 inches while my back will be 22 inches. Now I will go ahead and label the lines like this. Now I will mark my neck width of 3 inches and the neck depth of 3 inches. We don't really need it on this tutorial, but for the sake of beginners and the sake of drafting this pattern, I will go ahead and mark everything. Now I draw my shoulder slope to the neckline. Then on my chest line, on my bust point, I will go up with 2 inches. These 2 inches will serve as my chest line. I'll draw a line across like this. This will serve as my chest line. You can divide your bust by 6. Then you add 1.5 inches to whatever you get, and that will serve as your bust or as your chest line from the shoulder slope down. So now on this point, I will go ahead and divide my shoulder, the shoulder depth by 2, and go in on the center with ½ inch. Then input my bust measurement, divide by 4. That is quarter of my bust measurement. I will put it on the chest line. Then I'll connect the 3 points like this to get my armhole curve. Now I will go in with my darts. That is my nipple to nipple measurement. That is my bust palm. From one nipple to another, you divide by 2. Whatever you get, you divide it by 2. Mine is 8 inches, so I divided it by 2, and it gave me 4 inches. So I input the 4 inches on all the points like this, and then I will go ahead and connect it with a straight line, just like I am doing here. Please, if you've not subscribed, please go ahead and hit on the subscribe button. Now on this waistline, I will go in on both sides with 0.75 inches. You can use 0.5 inches. I want to snatch my waistline, so I went in with 0.75 inches on both lines. Then on the hemline, I went up with 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect it from the waistline. I'll connect it to down 1 inch that I took upward like this. Then I will connect it to my bust points, just like you see me doing. And this is what we'll be having. I use 0.75 on both sides. You can use ½ inches on both sides. Now I'll go ahead and input all my measurement. Now coming to the waistline, where you input your measurement, that is your waist, divide quarter of your waist measurement. You input it, then you measure your dart, the dart intake, and input it back, add it back. Mine is 1.5 inches, so I added it back. Then I added my stitches allowance, the side seam allowance. I added it back on my pattern. I like to add my side seam allowance on my pattern because sometimes I tend to forget it, so I like adding it on my pattern. But if you are someone that does not forget things easily, you can leave it, you add it on your fabric when you are cutting it. So on coming to the under bust, I will measure my under bust measurement. My under bust is 34 inches. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5 inches. I will measure my 8.5 inches, and then the allowance, the dart allowance on that area, I will also measure it. Mine was 0.6 inches. Then the allowance I added for the side seam, I will also measure it. The 1.5 inches I added for the side seam, I measured it as well. Then whatever I'm having left there, I will divide it. What I am having there is 1.5 inches. I will divide it on equally. So what I did here is I divided on equal. 1 inches, I put 1 inches to the side, then ½ inch to the center front. I hope you understand what I just explained. 1 inch to the side, while ½ inch to the center front. If you are having 2 inches, you put 1.5 inch to the side and ½ inch to the center front. I put 1 inch to the side and 1 inch to the center front. Now I connected it with a curve from my underbust to my bust point, and then straight to the 1 inch that I took from the hemline above. I connected it, and the same thing with your other side, giving us a new dart shape. Now coming up to the chest line, I'm not going to be leaving my neckline on the chest line. I will go up with 2 inches, or you measure from your shoulder line to where you want it to be, where you want your corset to stop, your overbust corset to stop. I don't want my boob to be revealed at all. So from the shoulder line, I measure down 6 inches down, and that is where I want my own to stop. So if I measure that 6 inches, if I measure from the chest line up to that 6 inches is 2 inches. You can use 1.5 inches for yours, but I think the maximum you should use should be 2 inches from your chest line up. So I use 2 inches, and then I will mark on both sides, and then I extended my dart length to that 2 inches. Then I mark from the dart leg, I mark half inch, 3/4 inch. Sorry, I marked 3/4 inch. You can use ½ inch if you are not a bustier. You can use ½ inch, but I marked 3/4 inch, that is 0.75 inches on both sides. Then I'll use my curve rule to curve this side like this to my armhole, and then use my hand to complete it, to shape it. Then I'll use the curve part again and curve it like this to my chest line. I'll curve it from that dart line to my chest line to create my sweetheart neckline like this. And this is what we'll be having. So coming to this side, this is a Victorian corset. So I want to have another dart. I want to create another dart on this waistline. So I will divide the center front, I will divide it by 2. Divide it from the dart leg, I will divide it by 2 and draw a line just like I am doing. You can leave it like this. Once you draw this line, you can leave it like this and cut it out, but I still want to snatch it with ½ inch on this waistline. I still want to snatch my waist with ½ inch. So ½ inch, I want to snatch both front and back with 1 inch. So I'll divide that 1 inch by 2, and I will give ½ inch for the front and ½ inch for the back. So that is to say, on this dart on the waistline here, I will take 1/4 inch on one side and 1/4 inch on the other side, and connect it just like I am doing here like this. Connect it to 1 inch above, take 1 inch upward from the hemline and connect the point like this. Then also connect it to your bust point, and this is what we'll be having. Then I'll go ahead and mark center from 1, center from 2, then my side front. Go ahead and mark them, and then you mark your notation so that you will know. Mark arrows. Notation, what I mean by notation is you mark like arrows pointing to the side that you are going to be joining, so that you will not mix them up. Even if you mix them up, you still know, you can still separate them. Then on the side here, I will go up with 1 inch. You can go up with 1.5 inch, depends on how curvy you want yours to be. I went up with 1 inch, and then I used the curved part of my ruler to connect it like this. Then coming to the side, remember our back is shorter than the front with 2 inches, so I will be taking a chest dart or bust dart. Here I will go down from my bust with 2 inches and mark it down. This 2 inches is to reduce the front so that it will match with the back when you are joining it. So I will reduce the front with 2 inches, and the way I'm going to be reducing it is to take a bust dart for the front. Take a 2 inches bust dart. This way you reduce your side with 2 inches to match with the back part. Then I'll go ahead and cut all the points like this. Now I'll cut the center. I'll cut it straight so that I will be able to close my dart, the bust dart. I'll be able to close it like this, just as I'm doing. Then I use my sellotape to tape it down. This way I'm closing my bust dart. Then I'll go ahead and cut out all my darts. And this is what we are having. This is the center front 1, center front 2, and the side front. Now this side is shorter. I'll go ahead and place another paper underneath it and use my sellotape to tape it down. Then I will mark a straight line to make sure that place is straight like that, and then you go ahead and cut out the excess. This way you complement that shortage. Now you mark it center, or you mark 1, 2, 3, these 3 pieces for the front, and then now it's time to draft the back. Just like we did in front, I'll mark the starting point and connect it with a straight line like this, and then I'll go ahead and mark my bust points, my waistline, and the hemline. There's no underbust for the back. I'll duplicate the lines and then I'll connect them together. If you've watched up to this point and you've not subscribed, please go ahead and do so, and give this video a thumbs up and share with your family and friends. Thank you. Now I'll connect all the points together. Then on my bust point, I'll go up with 2 inches just like we did in front. This 2 inches will serve as our chest line. Now I will go in with my shoulder measurement on the shoulder line and on the chest line and connect the points together like this. Now I will go in with my neck width 3 inches. Remember, we use 3 inches for the front, 3 inches for the front width, for the width, and 1 inch for the depth of the back, and connect it like this. Now on this shoulder line, I'll go down with 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then I'll measure what I have here and get the middle. Then I will input my bust measurement, quarter of my bust measurement. I will input it there, and then I will connect the points to create my armhole cuff. And remember, the back, we are cutting it. There's no zip allowance here. So now that I've created my armhole cuff, I'll go in with my dart, which is 4 inches. I'll mark my 4 inches on all the lines, and then I'll connect it like this. Now remember, the front we went in with 3/4 of an inch. I'll also go in with 3/4 of an inch for the back. Go up on the hemline with 1 inch and connect the points like this for my darts. I'll connect the points just like I am doing. Now on the chest line, I'll come down with 1 inch and connect it to my dart like this. Connect my dart to that 1 inch like this, and this is what we are having for my dart. Now I will input my measurement, quarter of my bust measurement, then the darts. I will add my dart and then my 1.5 inch allowance. Same thing on the waistline. quarter of my waist measurement, add my dart bag and my 1.5 inch allowance. Then the same thing on my hemline, quarter of my hemline. Remember the bag is 22 inches, not 24. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points like this. Connect them together like this. Now we are going to be dividing this place. I will be taking 1.5 inch. I wanted to take 2 inches off for the loop. We are putting a loop here, so I'll be taking 1.5 inch. I wanted to take 2 inches, but I noticed that it was too close to the dart, so I'll be taking 1.5 inches off on this part like this. So this place I'm cutting it off. Remember, there's no allowance for zip. I'm cutting it off and then I'm placing my notation so that we know that that is where I'll be placing my loops. Now the back part, I'm not going to be leaving it straight like this, but if you like, you can leave yours straight like this. I will go ahead and mark from the chest line down with 1/2 inch and then connect it from my armhole, end of my armhole like this to that 1/2 inch with a curve like this. Then on that line, I will be marking 1/2 inch on both sides to tighten for my bust tightening. Marking the 1/2 inch for my bust tightening and connect it down to the waistline like this. Now I will be dividing the side into two. Remember the front, we divided the center front, but this side I'll be dividing the side into two. Measure it from the waistline, then divide it by 2 and connect it with a straight line like this. Now I will go in. Remember the front, I went in with 1/4 inch on both sides. That is to say, I went in with 1/2 inch. And now the same thing here, 1/4 inch on both sides. And then I'll go up with 1 inch here and connect it to create a dart here. I want to tighten my waistline. Connect it, then I'll connect it to the bust points like this. Now I'll go ahead and mark all this place. I will be cutting it out. I don't need them. I'm cutting all these places out. Now on the side, I'll go up with 1 inch just like we did in front, and then I will connect it to my with a curve like this. And this is all for the back. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Mark all your notations, your arrows, so you will not mix them up. And this is what we are having. This is what we are having for the back, and there is my front. And guys, this brings us to the end of our tutorial. Please, if you've not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you find it interesting. Can we see the side, the backs and the front? They are equal because we went down, we took 2 inches off in front for the just bust that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. See you on my next video. God bless you.